chef's probably going to ask you like the cooking method. Pan fry, sear, grill, that's all perfect. Improper uses of cooking method, right? The question asks you how to cook it, not what dishes it's incorporated in. So egg McMuffin, eggs Benedict, those are off limits. Those are not answers for your exam. People do fail for that. Oh, anyway, sorry. 17. What?
Pan fried and
Grill? Sear. Whichever one is to your liking, as long as you know that it's dry and you're not going to stick it in home as a stock and then try to make something out of it. Number 17 is a lamb square cut shoulder. Can you turn that upside down for me? Lamb square cut shoulder. You guys will be doing lamb tomorrow, right? Yeah, so you're going to see where it comes from and why it's a square cut shoulder, but just a quick synopsis. So after the neck bone's been cut off, because there's really not much on it except for like a bunch of elastin and all that stuff, you're stuck with the entire body, right? Then you hit them right down in the sternum area, right? And then you have the 8 ribs that give you the lamb rack, right? And then anything from here is the loin, and then you have the leg. So whatever's left up here, you have like this 2 shoulder bit. If you cut that in half, directly in half, you should still get part of the spine, and then you should have some rib bones. You're only going 3 deep. There's only like, I think there's 3, 12, about 14 or 15 rib bones. He'll explain this all tomorrow, but you should see some rib bones, and you should see that backbone should still be there. There's also a blade bone, just like in the pork butt. Remember, the pork butt's also the shoulder. There's a blade bone, and you should feel it right here. So for this, you guys are going to do the same thing that you did with the lamb leg. Take it off of its bone, trim it up, get all those nasty glands out of there, tie it up to a pretty roast. Oven it goes. Cool? Awesome. Number 18, flank steak. Beef flank steak. Or sorry, there's no steak after, it's beef flank. There's 6 of them in a package. I wish I had one of them out so I could show you, but it kind of has like a seashell shape. Oh, it's going to irritate me. It has a seashell shape, and if you look at the meat, like the way that the grains go, they go top to bottom, north to south, south to north, either one. They're always going to be that way. They're never going to deviate. It's not going to go side to side. It's always going to go from top to bottom. Cooking method for that is grill, saute, anything in a flash. Like, it's going to be a really quick cooking. It's really thin. You don't really want to do much with it. It's awesome for fajitas and stuff like that. Cool? Alright, next one is number 19, and just make sure I know what I'm doing. This is a veal shoulder clod. Okay, remember how I said for the beef shoulder clod, every clod has a silver lining, every clod has a silver lining? Okay, there's a silver lining forming, right? If you also look at it, you see it? Silver lining forming. And if you also look at it, you can see kind of a formation of 3 different muscles. 1, 2, and then you have the 3rd one right here. Sound reminiscent of something else, right? Remember, veal is just a smaller cow. It hasn't really fully developed, but it's starting to develop. So you should see some of the muscular, like, you know, tendencies that you see in something else. So shoulder clod over there is a cooking method is going to be braising or stewing, right? This one's going to be either braising or stewing. It still has the elastin band in it.
that would be the top blade if it was beef.
Indeed. Alright. Number 20. If you guys don't know what bacon is, then I don't know how to help you. It's bacon. It's smoked pork belly. I don't even know what else to say, but it's bacon. Number 21, bone-in center cut pork loin. You guys should remember doing this. This is where you get your boneless pork loin from. That was number 1. The tenderloin's still attached, if you look at it. And then the other half of the pork loin, where the tenderloin's not, you know, where the tenderloin ends, you should see the baby back ribs, right? Okay, you should see the chine bones right there. The chine bones would be the top of the animal, right? They're right there on the top. There's always going to be 2 in a package. Sometimes I'll give you 1, but look for the following things. Look for the chine bone, baby back ribs, and tenderloin. And then you know it's a center cut pork loin. And this you're going to dry cook always. You can either turn it into really awesome pork chops, you can turn it into a bone-out pork loin and then roast it. Everything on there is going to be dry cooked anyway. Cool? Alright, number 22 is, I'm going to say it really slow, lamb rack, split, chined, send all.
Split chine what?
Send all.
Send all?
Yeah. I'll explain it to you in a second. Alright, so a lamb rack, you guys know what it is, right? I just explained it to you. It's the part that comes after the shoulder, right? It's basically the rib cage. It's been split down the middle, so you have the lamb rack. It should look like this, right? If you remember, I can't even explain it because none of you probably watched like the Flintstones back in the day, right?
Well, I did.
Charlie was very fit and he's still a little striker.
Well, you remember that like Brontosaurus rack that they put in the beginning credits? That's what a lamb rack would look like, right? That's exactly what it looks like, a big like eye muscle and then just a curved, right? That's what we're working with. So you basically have two of them and they connect like this. Now what they're doing in the factory is they're splitting it down the middle, so you should have a chine bone still attached on both, and then they're taking the chine bone off of both. So what they're saying is it's a lamb rack, right? They split it down the middle, they chined it, and then they sent you everything. So the lamb rack is like this, with the chine bone right in the middle. And that's exactly what you have in that package.
So they send the chine bone separately?
The chine bone is in the package, it's just off of the rack.
Okay.
Is there a reason that you keep your chine bones?
Stocks, sauces, anything.
You can order it without that though, right?
I would. You probably need, if you're gonna do a lamb rack, you're probably gonna do some sort of sauce. You're probably gonna need the chine bone. And quite truthfully, when you do lamb rack, you have like a 50% yield on it. It's not exactly the best thing to have. I would do, you know, maybe like a shoulder chop, bless you, shoulder chop or something. But when you French it, that what Charlie just did, yeah, that whole top part, it's gone. So you can turn that into, I don't know, lamb burgers or something if you're gonna open up your own place. And then with lamb burgers, you're probably gonna want some sort of sauce. You can fortify your barbecue sauce with lamb bones and make it more of a lamby flavor, because lamb has a very distinctive flavor. You can do whatever you want, but don't ever toss bones away thinking that you can't use them, because you can always make a stock. That's money. Stock costs maybe $15 a gallon. That's a lot of money that I'm not willing to spend on stock made by somebody else who probably fortified it with water. Number 23 is a perfect butt cheek. It is a lamb butt cheek. That's the lamb top round. Now, top rounds, remember top round for beef, cooking method is dry. No exception here. Top round for lamb, cooking method is dry.
How much is that?
Lamb right now is running like $9.75 a pound.
What?
Wow.
Lamb is expensive.
It's pricey.
Alright, what's number 24? What's that?
It is spare ribs.
Number 24, spare ribs. Other than the label telling you so, I can tell you why. The rib bones are still attached. They're not the baby back ribs. Baby back ribs have that cradle-like shape, right? These are a lot straighter. If you look at the bottom, they still have the break attached. If any of you eat ribs as much as I do, you guys know that the bottom part is full of cartilage, right? So if you remove that, because you can just go zip right through it with your knife, if you remove that, you get St. Louis style ribs. This is the difference. The break is still attached, it's still spare ribs. If the break is not attached, it's St. Louis. Cooking method for that is low and slow, dry, baby. And what's number 25? I can't see. That is not a picture.
Oh.
Is that 40?
It's a,
It's a like
yeah, it's, it looks like it could be no, it's not veal. No, it might be veal. It is veal. Yeah, it's veal. Alright. I can only tell because it's really fucking lean. Anyway, so veal, hind shank, ossobuco. Ossobuco is a cooking method. It's also a cut. You cook that in a lot of liquid. That's that. All right, number 26.
Pancetta.
I can't see.
It says.
It says pancetta on it. Freaking A,
Is he
it's
gonna give you one
pancetta.
of those?
He puts a label over it if he does.
Okay.
Pancetta is just the loin part, right? That's rolled up, and you can cure it. It can be the belly. It depends on which area of Europe you're in. It's cured. It's rolled up real tight. It's dried up, and it's freaking delicious. In Italy, they don't actually use it in their cooking dishes. They eat it, slice it really, really thin, put it on sandwiches.
So is that, can you say that's a ready to eat?
It is a ready to eat. You can eat it, or you can use it in pasta dishes. There's so many things you can do. That won't be on yours.
What are the common